I will never, ever forget the day that I sat on my shrink's couch and told her that my boyfriend, my new boyfriend, is too Jewish, and what a big problem that was going to be. Because not only was he the first man I dated who identified as Jewish, but he went to temple, seemingly on the reg, like more than 2 times a year. And I said to my shrink, Cheryl, he's on the board of the temple, and he wants me to go with him. And Cheryl looked at me, confused, and said, and? Okay, there's a number of things that I have pretended to like for a guy. The band Rush is a great example. But temple will not be one of them. I don't do temple, I told her. And it's true, I didn't. There was not really any one inciting temple incident. It was just sort of a lot of little, micro temple aggressions that... I mean, there was the time in Hebrew school when I was asked to stay after class as punishment for my outburst about questioning why men got to do everything in Judaism and women were supposed to just somehow be happy about it. And alone in the classroom, my teacher's eyes sparkled as she told me about one of the real upshots of being a Jewish woman. Michaela, if a woman is on her cycle, she does not have to lay with her husband. Now, yes, I'm sorry, but that was a lot to unpack for a 5th grader. I'm not sure why that was the real feminist hill she was going to die on, but anyway. Nor did I split with my religion when our conservative temple voted, to my shock, not to include the matriarchs in the Amida. My own father argued to his 3 daughters that you cannot change sacred text, and I guess no one had argued back. Not a lot of women in that writer's room. It wasn't the cursing of our neighbors out our front door on Passover like our outdated Haggadahs suggested we do, or leaving synagogue somehow more disconnected than when we came. It was just all of it. And I didn't get religion, and I felt like it didn't get me either, and so Judaism and I consciously uncoupled. And then years and years later, after some real harsh life lessons and some maturity, and yes, therapy, I found myself dating the most magical, wonderful person in the world, Fred Kramer. I don't look weird. And he just, at that time, wanted to really ruin our good time by asking me to come to temple with him. So I sat there contemplating the end of this great relationship, and my shrink interrupted me and said, why wouldn't you go to temple with this man you say you care about? Aren't you curious about why he's so passionate and eager to share it with you? So yes, I was the jerk in this scenario, in case you were wondering. So, fun fact, those they were really popular on YouTube, those, they're like flash mob videos where everybody, somebody starts dancing in a Home Depot and the music comes on really loud, and then everybody breaks out into this choreographed dance, and it's just only for the benefit of the people in the lumber section, and it's just like, I cannot watch any of these videos without a full-on ugly cry, because there's something about a bunch of people coming together to connect and do something unself-consciously expressive for strangers that just undoes me. Does anybody else have this weird phenomena? It kills me. Yes. So I bring that up because that is essentially the reaction I had when I sat through my first morning at IKAR. I, on those foldy chairs, and Hillel's soulful tunes gently rocked my cold, dead heart. And the whole room was singing these songs that I used to sing as a kid, except this time there was, I guess the word is life. There was so much life in that room. These kids, they laughed, they played, oh my God, I ugly cried through the whole thing, the whole service. And then Rabbi Sharon gave the sermon. And I'm guessing we could all compare notes and agree that someone clearly read our diaries and weird scienced this perfect rabbi. I mean, she touched on the most tender, polarizing topics of our time, and then seamlessly related them to this ancient text that I had formerly shrugged off forever, and made some kind of sense out of all of it. She articulated the nuances of good and evil, and how we can actually hold both at the same time, and how to take action on that day rather than sit and stew in how powerless we felt about everything. In short, she was speaking my language, and I had this feeling that I came home. And now, here I am, 8 years later. I'm just a girl standing in front of a congregation asking you to give IKAR all of your money. And I wish we could go around the room. I want to hear every single one of your stories about why you're here. But I have to do this. I have to ask you for money. So if you don't have any money, that's okay. You can do acts of service. I understand. That's fine. But everybody else, I'm talking to you. If you paid to park in that car museum instead of walking 5 extra blocks, I'm talking to you. If you have, no judgment, a watch that tells you to stand up and breathe, I am for sure hot breath in your face talking to you. Hey, if you are one of our wealthiest members of this congregation, first I would like to say congratulations on all of your life choices. But I also know that a couple of really, really meaningful gifts can really determine what we're able to achieve as a community in this coming year. So this is an all play. Everybody reach into your name tag and pull out your pledge card, open it up. On a few of yours, there's gonna be a surprise inside, so everybody's gonna wanna do it. You're gonna wanna do it, trust me. There's a surprise. Everybody got it? You got it, right? You can hold it up just to show me. That feels good. There we go. Okay, good. Now there's stickers at the bottom. You're just gonna look, and I'm gonna talk, and you're gonna look at a number you feel comfortable with, and then you're gonna look at the one right above it, and that's where you're gonna put the sticker. Okay, so we covered Rabbi Sharon Brous. She officiated our wedding, and everybody said afterwards, I want to convert. And I said, well, maybe. But what I think you really want is Rabbi Sharon Brous, and we have her. She's ours. Like, we get her. We also get Rabbi Ronit and Rabbi David and Rabbi Michaela. They're all ours. This is our draft for the fantasy rabbi team, and we are killing it, you guys. And I'm also giving because of this community, because I've seen it rocked many times since I've had the good fortune of being a member here. And I'm giving because in our moments of great heartbreak and fear and confusion, I can't imagine not having the clear, consistent, moral, and insightful voice our clergy offers, either whispering sensitivity in our ears when we need it and shouting out loud when the message needs to be amplified to a seemingly deaf world. This community rallies. Do you agree? Yes. Then put a little sticker on your little thingy. Not just simply for one another, but for this city and for this country. As far as Uganda, we all have to live together here, and I have watched the progress of a growing and increasingly effective Minyan Tzedek team offering opportunities to effect change on the issues that keep me up more nights than I care to admit. Is this important to you guys? Yeah, okay, so you got these stickers, and it's just like the connection, it's like an all-stop shop for charity. Everything, all of your needs, your personal, your immediate, your community, and beyond, and it just ripples and it ripples and it ripples while you just do that. Um, Also, I just want to say one more thing. I've also watched these kids come up for their bar and bat mitzvahs and give these speeches that just floor me with their compassion and their activism. And I know that they're not going to have to grow up. I mean, maybe they will go to therapy because therapy is great, but they're not going to have to pay someone $160 to have them tell them to go to temple because their beloved thinks it would be a nice idea. These are healthy, wonderful kids, and I give because I want to grow them and live in the world that they're going to be leading one day. I really, really wish I had grown up Jewish in a Jewish community like this, and I can't go back in time, but I can make the most of whatever time we have left. And that's why I'm supporting IKAR, and I really hope you do too. And what you're going to do is you're going to give this pledge card to somebody who's going to come around, I believe, during announcements. Right? Anyone? Yes. Okay. Yes, during announcements. And I just hope you give wholeheartedly with your heart. If you had a cup of coffee this morning, no judgment, okay? It happens. I'm sure there's like something in the Torah about that there's not, actually. There's not. It's one day you're asked, but I just think like, gee, you know, what could you possibly do with that guilt? I don't know. Think about it. Okay, thank you so much.